Aloha class. So a person would use the conventional retail inventory method if they don't want to do a physical count. It's also, cheap and usually easy to do. When we know our sales, we can get our, set total goods available for sales at retail minus what we sold would be leftover, and that would give us our ending inventory at retail, and so then we can times that number by the cost to retail percentage and get ending inventory at cost. And so I just put in a few numbers. This is exercise 9-22. Before we get into it, I want to talk about markups and markdowns. The book talks about markups and markdowns. And so when I have a shirt, I'm selling shirts. I'm in the retail business. I'm a retailer. And this shirt retails for $20. Just thinking about, just disregard these numbers for a minute. This retails for $20. And I realize that everyone loves my shirts. I need to sell it for a higher amount so I can make more profit. So I decide I'm going to have a markup of $5, and I will now sell my shirts for $25. Well, my business slows down as everyone realizes, oh, maybe I shouldn't buy this shirt because it's $25 and not $20. And so I realize a dip in my sales, and so I decide, maybe I can do a promotional discount, something, to lower the cost a little bit so people would be willing to buy the shirt, even if I take it a little bit of price cut. So this would be called a markup cancellation. Markup cancellation. So now for this markup cancellation, I'm going to do a markup cancellation of about $3. So since I marked it up to 5, markup cancellation minus 3, now I'm going to sell this shirt for $22 and maybe attract more sales. And so I can cancel this markup all the way back to 20, and that's fine. All of this was a markup and then a markup cancellation. Once I go below my retail, what the shirt normally retails for, maybe this is now a clearance item, a sale item, and that would be considered a markdown, and you can do a markdown cancellation, which would bring it back closer to retail. But for my cost to retail percentage, I really want to include my great inventory items that sell at full price or above. I don't want these sale items, I don't want clearance items that have markdowns, because they'll throw off the ratio from cost to retail. They're going to skew it because I'm including sale items when really we want to keep things, right at retail or above retail. So I'm only going to include the inventory that's, has its original value or higher value. So I don't distort this cost to retail percentage. So I'll include my net markups in my retail over here, and then we'll calculate this percentage, and then we can include deduct these net markdowns and go from there. So you know what a net markup and net markdown is. These were your beginning inventory at cost, beginning inventory at retail. We're going to add our purchases, but this is a net number. So we buy some things and we return some. Maybe it's not what we wanted, we needed to return it. So when we return items, we really don't have them in inventory, and we really can't sell them if we return them. So this is a net number, and I put that in since purchases we're at cost, so we're 48,000 minus purchase returns at cost 2,000 here. So this is a net number that I had already calculated. Also a net number, purchases net. Freight, we know that inventory includes this freight, shipping, that is a cost of inventory, and we need to include it and not forget about it. So our total over here, 78,000 and 131,500. So freight is part of that inventory cost and not on the retail side. Markup, however, is on the retail, and markup cancellation. So markup would be a positive thing, markup cancellation minus. So we're going to add our net markups. Here we go. Net markups. So first we need that net. We will add that 8,500. So we need as a total, so we can calculate our cost to retail, we had 140,000 over here. Let's do that same formula over for our cost side. And so for our costs, we have this amount, and our retail this amount. And our costs included beginning inventory, added our purchases, added our freight to get a total. Retail side, we didn't have any freight to worry about there. And we did put in our markups and markup cancellations because we only wanted the good inventory that was selling at high price and wasn't obsolete or damaged or anything like that. And so let's do our cost to retail percentage. So first it's a ratio. I can see a ratio 0.56, and if you want to see that, you know, on top of each other, 78400 divided by 140,000 would give us 0.56, times that by 100% would give us a percentage, times it by 100 would give us a percentage. Would that give you a percentage? No. Let's do a percentage here. 56%. And that's our cost to retail ratio. So now we need to figure out how do we get to our ending inventory at retail, so we can times this amount over here to get our ending inventory at cost. So now we need to worry about these net markdowns because, okay, I've calculated a correct ratio that includes everything I wanted to include, but yes, I do have inventory that can't be sold at the full cost, so I needed to take account of those. And so we will take into account our net markdowns and minus those, and then minus those out, and that'll be all of our sales price of goods available. Sales price of goods available right there. So let's look at our markdowns. Our markdowns were 9,300. Let's see, 9,300, and the cancellations were 2,800. So if we did a net of that, 6,500 that we will minus out because we're losing out on that money. Maybe these clothes are out of style, and let's take the difference between those. And now we need to deduct net sales. So net sales would have our sales and our sales returns. Sales and sales returns, 99,000 and 2,000. Okay. So this number is everything that we had to sell at retail. That's our sales total if we had sold everything, with our markups and markdowns all taken into account. This is our net sales, so this is actually what we did sell. So everything left over, if we take the difference between these two, this is everything we have left over if we were to sell it at retail. So this would be the leftover after we've sold. Everything available minus what we sold would be leftover. 36,500 times this by our cost to retail percentage to get our ending inventory at cost. Let's see this. And so this is our number we're looking for to find our ending inventory at cost. So hopefully this helped you a little bit with this problem.